Many of you tuning into the deep dive are likely already, pretty well versed in productivity.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe even veterans of countless time management systems. You've read the books, you've downloaded the apps, maybe tried a few obscure techniques you found online somewhere.
The whole 9 yards.
Exactly. But even for the most organized among us, there's often that persistent paradox, isn't there? That feeling of just relentless busyness, yet the truly meaningful work, the strategic thinking, the creative breakthroughs, the deep problem solving, it often feels deferred
Sidelined you.
or simply left undone.
It's a common frustration.
Let me paint a picture that might resonate. Meet Samir. He's a project manager at a bustling IT firm, maybe in Pune.
Okay.
From the outside, he looks like a productivity superstar.
Yeah.
His calendar, a solid block of color meetings, calls, tasks.
Packed.
Totally packed. Wakes up at 6 a.m., answers emails before breakfast, works late. He's got all the latest apps, a color-coded planner. He even uses the Pomodoro technique, religiously.
Ticking all the boxes.
By every external measure, Samir is the absolute epitome of a time management expert. Yet, when his weekly review comes around, he feels this familiar kind of sinking feeling.
Oh, okay. I think I know where this is going.
The truly important work, the strategic planning for new product features, the creative problem solving that could unlock a major market, the crucial mentoring of his junior team members, it just keeps getting pushed.
The next day.
Then the next. He's constantly busy, right? Sweating, exhausted, but his most valuable contributions left undone.
Right. He feels like he's running a marathon.
On a treadmill, running hard but never actually moving forward. Does Samir's story hit close to home for you?
I suspect it does for many listeners.
Have you tried every time management technique out there, the lists, the timers, eating the frog, but you still feel this nagging sense that you're not fully in control, constantly pressured by that ticking clock?
And if that resonates, you're absolutely not alone. What's truly fascinating here, and what Kadavy challenges right from the outset, is our deeply ingrained assumption that the clock, time itself, is the enemy. We often think, if I could just find one more hour, if I could just optimize one more minute, then everything would finally fall into place.
Right, the elusive extra hour.
But what if the problem isn't the clock at all? What if the real battle for your productivity, your creativity, and frankly, your peace of mind, what if it isn't happening on your calendar?
Okay.
What if it's happening quite literally between your ears?
That's a powerful reframe. And it's precisely where our deep dive takes us today. We're exploring David Kadavy's groundbreaking book, Mind Management, Not Time Management.
It's a fantastic read.
And this isn't just another quick productivity hack, is it? It's really a complete paradigm shift in how we approach our work.
Absolutely.
Kadavy, he's a best-selling author, a creative entrepreneur, and he makes this incredibly compelling argument. He says, for the modern knowledge worker, trying to manage time is like trying to fix a complex software problem by polishing the computer screen.
That's a great way to put it.
It's a waste of effort because you're focusing intensely on the wrong thing entirely.
Right. And the book's profound promise is to shift your focus. Stop managing the 60 minutes in an hour and start managing something far more valuable, more dynamic, and frankly, more human.
Which is?
The precious fluctuating energy within your mind. It encourages us to stop fixating on these external measures, the clock, the schedule, and start tuning into our internal resources, understanding that our brains aren't machines.
No, definitely not.
They're sophisticated biological systems with their own rhythms, their own capacities.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Our mission today is clear. We're going to deconstruct exactly why this industrial age concept of time management is, failing knowledge workers in this creative, knowledge-driven age we live in.
It's overdue.
Then we'll dive deep into Kadavy's 7 crucial mental states for doing your absolute best work. And we'll give you practical stories, vivid examples for each one.
Making it really concrete.
Yeah. We'll explore how you can identify your own unique creative cycles so you can learn to ride those powerful waves of your mental energy instead of, constantly fighting against the tide.
Working with your biology, not against it.
And most importantly, by the time we're done, you'll walk away with a practical, robust toolkit ready to start managing your mind today.
Actionable insights.
This isn't just about getting more done, is it? It's about trading burnout for brilliance, trading that frantic busyness for truly focused flow. It's time, really, to stop counting the minutes and start making your minutes count in a way that genuinely moves the needle.
Well said.
So where do we begin? To really get Kadavy's insights, we first need to understand what we're moving away from.
Exactly. We have to look at this thing we've all been taught to worship. Time management. Where did this whole idea even come from?
Yeah, its origins.
Well, its roots are firmly planted in the factories of the Industrial Revolution. Think early 20th century.
Okay. Like assembly lines.
Precisely. Imagine a car assembly line. Each worker had one specific, highly repeatable task. One person attaches the left front wheel, the next person tightens the bolts. Over and over.
Very predictable.
Very. Their output was tangible, physical, easily measured in units per hour. Efficiency was king. And time. Time was treated like a commodity, just like steel or rubber, something to be optimized to maximize output.
Makes sense in that context.
Absolutely. In that context, time management, with its focus on breaking down tasks, optimizing every minute, standardizing processes, it was an absolute genius system, perfectly designed for a world of cogs and levers, physical labor, predictable linear output.
And that's the crucial distinction, isn't it? Our world today looks nothing like that.
Not even close.
We're knowledge workers. We're trainers designing complex workshops, software developers writing intricate code, marketers creating entire campaigns, writers crafting narratives.
Right. Our work isn't about assembling widgets.
No. It's about solving novel problems, often unprecedented ones. It's about synthesis, innovation, nuanced communication, abstract thought. Our work is, at its core, creative work.
It's often invisible work, too, not easily counted in units per hour.
Exactly. And this is the fundamental truth that David Kadavy builds his entire philosophy on.
Which is?
Creative work is inherently nonlinear. You simply cannot schedule a breakthrough idea for 2:15 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Huh. No matter how hard you try to block it out on your calendar.
Right, think about it. Imagine telling a poet, okay, you have exactly 8 minutes. Write me a profound metaphor about the human condition. Go.
It's absurd. The mind just doesn't cooperate like that.
No. And forcing yourself to be productive when your mind is foggy and tired? Kadavy says it's like trying to drive a car with no petrol.
You can sit there, turn the key, slam the accelerator.
Nothing happens. You just flood the engine, end up more frustrated, more burnt out, and less effective than when you started.
It's a fundamental mismatch. The nature of the work versus the tool we're trying to apply to it.
That distinction resonates so deeply, and it highlights, for me, the core flaw of traditional time management.
Which is?
It treats all time as inherently equal. It assumes the hour between 9 and 10 a.m., when you're maybe fresh and caffeinated, has the exact same potential value as the hour between 3 and 4 p.m. post-lunch, maybe after a couple of dull meetings.
When your brain feels like mush.
Exactly. But we know, intuitively, this is false. We all have those golden hours when we feel unstoppable.
Ideas flow, words connect.
Solutions just appear. And then there are those other hours when writing one coherent sentence feels like climbing Everest.
The time on the clock is the same, but the internal capacity, that mental energy, it's wildly different.
Kadavy really drives that home.
Yeah, and to really illustrate this, let's use an analogy Kadavy uses quite effectively. Think about the difference between a master chef preparing a Michelin star meal
Okay.
and a line cook at a busy fast food joint.
Very different worlds.
Totally. The line cook's job is pure time management. 60 seconds for the bun, 90 for the patty. Everything optimized for speed, consistency, predictable output every single time.
Right. Stopwatch, procedures, efficiency.
Exactly. But the master chef, they operate on mind management. They might spend an hour just exploring the textures, the aromas of a new seasonal ingredient, letting their mind wander. No fixed outcome.
Following intuition, maybe?
Yes. They might have a flash of inspiration, a new flavor combo, and spend the next 2 hours experimenting. Maybe even ditching their original plan if something better emerges, if the creative flow takes them somewhere unexpected.
Okay, I see the contrast.
They do the more mindless stuff, the chopping, the prep work when their energy is lower. But they save their peak focus for the delicate, creative act of plating the final dish, transforming simple ingredients into art.
Right.
The profound problem Kadavy points out is this. In the knowledge economy, we are all being asked to be master chefs, to innovate, create, solve complex problems.
Yet we're still using the line cook's stopwatch to measure our work and our worth.
Exactly. We're judging our gourmet cooking by fast food metrics.
That's such a powerful image. It really makes you rethink your whole day. How many of us are trying to whip up that gourmet meal with a fast food stopwatch? It sounds like we need a completely different definition of productive.
We do.
So, if that's the problem, and we're acknowledging this internal fluctuating resource, how does Kadavy define mind management as the solution? What is it?
Mind management, in contrast, accepts that your mental energy is finite and it fluctuates
Right.
profoundly. It's about intelligently matching the right task with the right mindset and the right energy level.
Okay, matching task to state.
Yes, it's the difference between being a taskmaster, constantly whipping your brain into submission regardless of how it feels.
Which sounds exhausting.
It is. Versus being a gardener. A gardener doesn't yell at a plant to grow faster. Right?
No, that would be silly.
They patiently cultivate the ideal conditions. The right soil, water, sunlight, pruning, so the plant naturally grows and thrives. Mind management is like that. Less brute force, more fostering the optimal internal conditions for your best ideas to bloom organically.
So working with your nature, not constantly fighting against it.
Exactly. And the huge part of this shift, maybe the very first part, which Kadavy really emphasizes, is letting go of the guilt.
Ah, the guilt. That unproductive afternoon guilt. The Samir guilt.
Precisely. The guilt of not being on all the time. Kadavy says this guilt is a direct byproduct of that old industrial mindset.
Because machines should be on all the time.
Right. But Kadavy makes a critical point. Your brain isn't a machine. It can't run at 100% efficiency 2047. It's an organic, incredibly complex system. It gets tired, has bursts of insight, it needs periods of rest.
It's biological.
Yes. So by embracing its natural ebbs and flows, by allowing for those unproductive afternoons, you're not making an excuse for laziness. You're making a strategic biology-informed choice to work smarter, not just harder.
Honoring your human nature instead of battling it with an outdated model.
Letting go of that guilt is the first liberating step towards sustainable, high-quality output.
Okay. So we've laid the groundwork, challenged the old way, defined mind management. Now we can get into the heart of Kadavy's system, understanding the different gears our brain shifts into.
Yes, what he calls the 7 mental states of creative work.
Let's dive in. What's the first state?
Think of your mind like a high-tech workshop, okay? In this workshop, you have distinct stations, each equipped for a different kind of cognitive work. Maybe a 3D printing station for prototyping, an assembly station with precision tools, a research library, even a comfy lounge for just thinking.
You wouldn't use heavy machinery for sketching ideas.
Exactly. You pick the right station for the job. Similarly, your mind has different modes, or mental states, optimally suited for different kinds of work. The secret, Kadavy says, is consciously using the right station for the right job at the right time.
Okay, makes sense. Let's break them down. State number 1.
The first crucial state is prioritize. This is your CEO mode. The general looking at the battlefield from a high vantage point. The architects surveying the whole blueprint before laying a single brick.
The big picture view.
Exactly. When you're in prioritized state, you're taking that 10,000-foot view. You're not doing the work. You're deciding which work is truly worth doing.
And how does that feel?
It feels calm, detached, strategic. Your mind is clear, allowing you to weigh options, assess impact, make high-level decisions without getting lost in the weeds of execution.
That sounds delicate. What's the main challenge here? How do we avoid getting sucked into those weeds?
That's a great question because it happens so easily. Davey points out the biggest trap is the illusion of productivity. You start planning, right? Then a small related task comes to mind or an email pops up about it.
And boom, you're suddenly doing it.
Exactly. Before you know it, you're deep in execution, mistaking busyness for strategic progress. You've gone from being the general to being a foot soldier without even realizing it.
So the key is protecting that strategic space.
Yes. Kadavy's insight is that true prioritization isn't just about what you put on your list. It's about what you confidently and strategically leave off. Saying no to the good to make space for the great. You have to guard this state.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Let's use that anecdote about Anjali, the startup founder in Bangalore. Her company is facing a mountain of tasks. Critical bugs, new feature requests, an investor presentation.
Sounds overwhelming.
Totally. If she just makes a normal to-do list, she'll drown. Instead, Monday morning, she blocks 1 hour. Prioritized session. No phone, no laptop, just a whiteboard.
Low tech, high focus.
Right. And she asks the big questions. What will kill the company if we don't fix it now? The critical bugs. What gives us the biggest leverage for the investor meeting, the presentation? What can realistically wait? Most new features.
Focusing on the vital few.
Exactly. By the end of that hour, she has a clear strategic plan for the week, not just an endless anxiety-inducing list.
So she's chosen her destination before getting in the car. Makes sense. And Kadavy suggests doing this when the mind is fresh. Start of the day or week?
Precisely. When your cognitive load is lowest, before the day's noise creeps in. Okay, next state. Explore.
Explore. Sounds fun.
It is. This is the state of the curious adventurer. the wandering artist. It feels open, playful, wonderfully unstructured. No wrong turns, just new paths.
So less goal-oriented.
Much less. You're following your curiosity, making loose connections, gathering inspiration from diverse places. The purpose is breadth, not depth. You're filling your creative well, allowing for serendipity.
Letting happy accidents happen.
Yes. And the danger here, Kadavy cautions, is turning exploration into a chore, or having too specific a goal, which kills that serendipity.
How so?
Think of it like this. A traditional researcher goes to the library for a specific book. An explorer just wanders the aisles, sees what catches their eye, lets their mind drift, makes unexpected connections.
I like that distinction.
Let's use our corporate trainer example again, creating that managing workplace conflict program. In explore mode, they wouldn't just search academic articles. They might watch a documentary on peace negotiators, read a novel with a compelling rivalry, talk to a therapist friend about human dynamics.
Gathering diverse inputs.
Exactly. Building a rich tapestry of understanding. This state thrives on novelty. It's great for when your energy is moderate. You feel open to new ideas. Mid-morning, maybe late afternoon.
This sounds much more insightful than just hitting Google Scholar right away.
Often is. And it leads nicely to our third state, research.
Okay, so how is research different from explore?
Research is more focused, analytical, methodical. If explore was wandering the forest, research is methodically identifying and collecting specific medicinal plants in that forest, maybe cross-referencing them in a guide.
So more targeted.
Yes. It feels methodical, investigative. You're systematically gathering data. You now have a more defined question, and you're actively hunting for precise answers, evidence, validating information.
What's the pitfall here? I can imagine getting stuck, going down endless rabbit holes.
That's the big one. The rabbit hole risk is very real. Kadavy calls the trap analysis paralysis. Getting so lost in the data, the details, that you never actually move to action or synthesis.
Becoming a permanent student.
Exactly. Consuming information forever without producing anything. The key. Define your research questions clearly before you dive in. And maybe set a time limit.
Good tip.
Back to our trainer. After exploring, they decide to focus on the nonviolent communication framework. Now, in research mode, they look for specific studies validating it, case studies of companies using it, stats on communication's impact on retention.
Gathering proof, data, substance.
Precisely. It requires more focused analytical energy than explore. You're sifting, analyzing, verifying.
So gathering the specific bricks needed for the building you plan to construct.
Well put. And after you've gathered your materials, it's time for the most potent state, often the most energy-intensive. Generate.
Okay, the fourth state. This is the creation part.
Pure, unadulterated creation. First draft, initial sketch, raw brainstorming where no idea is bad. It feels exhilarating, sometimes messy, deeply focused, like a kid with Legos, no instructions, just building for joy, seeing what emerges, no judgment.
But the judgment comes, doesn't it? That inner critic. I know that's my biggest enemy in this state.
You've nailed it. The biggest enemy of Generate is almost universally your own inner critic. That voice whispering, "That's not good enough. This sounds silly. Waste of time."
The perfectionist voice.
Exactly. It strives for perfection on the first try, which is totally at odds with the expansive, uninhibited nature of generating. Kadavy insightfully says generating and judging use different brain functions. Trying both at once, like driving with the brakes on.
Incredibly frustrating.
So the key insight is separation. Create first, judge later. There's a great anecdote about a famous author who forced himself to write 2 terrible pages every day.
2 terrible pages, not good ones.
Terrible ones. The goal wasn't good, it was terrible. This brilliant trick silenced his inner critic. Aiming for terrible gave him freedom to just get words down. Pure generate mode.
Wow, that's counterintuitive, but makes sense.
So for you, maybe it means literally forbidding yourself from hitting backspace while drafting. Just keep moving forward. Get the lump of clay on the table. You can't sculpt anything from an empty pedestal.
Right. Get something down.
And this state, it requires your absolute pisk mental energy. Protect this time fiercely. It's often when your most original work happens.
8 for terrible. I like that.
Yeah.
What's the psychology there? Just lowering the bar or something more?
It's deeper. It bypasses the perfectionist impulse that often paralyzes us. Explicitly giving yourself permission for imperfection disarms that evaluating, critiquing part of the brain.
Which has its own time and place.
Exactly. Which brings us to state number 5, polish. Once that lump of clay is on the table, the first draft is down. Then you switch gears.
To refinement.
Yes. This is the state of the meticulous craftsman, the sharp-eyed editor. The mindset shifts dramatically. from expansive creation to convergent refinement. It feels critical, precise, detail-oriented.
You're no longer the freewheeling artist.
No, now you're the discerning art critic, the quality control manager, focused on enhancing, perfecting what already exists.
So the common mistake here is trying to polish while you generate, building and demolishing simultaneously.
Exactly that. Kadavy stresses they are distinct cognitive processes. Don't interleave them. Think of a software developer. Generate is writing the first messy but functional code.
Getting it to work.
Right. Then polish is going back, line by line, refactoring, making it cleaner, faster, more readable, more secure, improving what's already there.
Okay.
For our trainer, after generating the workshop draft, polish is checking typos, simplifying language, improving flow, tightening timing, making sure every detail aligns.
Refining the raw material into its final form.
Precisely. This needs a sharp, analytical mind, but often less draining than generating from scratch, because the core ideas are already there.
Makes sense. What's next?
Now, for the state that threatens to take over our lives. Number 6, administrate.
The necessary evils.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All the small, necessary, but generally low-value tasks. Answering most emails, scheduling meetings, filling forms, expenses, clearing the inbox. Kadavy calls it linky work.
Leaky work. Why?
Because it will seep into every available crack of your day if you let it. Constantly demanding small bits of attention. It feels reactive, often fragmented, doesn't need deep thought, just processing.
And the cardinal sin here is letting this leaky work interrupt the deep stuff. Generate, polish, research.
Absolutely. That's the cardinal sin of modern knowledge work, letting administrate interrupt deep work. Imagine a surgeon mid-operation. Would a nurse interrupt to ask about lunch plans or a form?
Never. It'd be dangerously irresponsible.
Exactly. Yet we let email notifications to other people's agendas interrupt our deepest, most valuable work constantly.
So what's the solution?
Put all administrative tasks in a container. Create a specific administrivia block in your calendar, ideally during your lowest energy period, like post-lunch slump.
Batching it.
Yes. During that block, you process all emails, make quick calls, handle small tasks at once, become an administrative machine for an hour. That frees you up to be creative the rest of the day, safe from those leaks.
That container idea is brilliant. Stops the constant drain and puts you back in control.
It absolutely does. Reduces cognitive load, too. Okay, finally, state number 7, maybe the most neglected. Recharge.
Taking a break.
Active recovery. Not just zoning out watching TV, though that has its place. This is deliberate disconnection, letting your mind and body heal, integrate information, letting the subconscious work its magic.
How does it feel?
Can feel like stillness, play, gentle movement. But our always-on culture treats recharge like laziness
Right.
and indulgence.
Totally. Hustle culture.
But Kadavy argues it's a biological necessity for high performance and sustained creativity.
So my afternoon nap isn't laziness, it's peak performance strategy. I need to tell my boss.
Exactly. Think of a pro athlete. Do they train 12 hours straight every day? No. Their schedule balances intense training, nutrition, and crucially, recovery time.
Muscle growth happens during rest.
Our minds work the same way. You take a walk, meditate, do a hobby, sleep well. You're not avoiding work. You're doing a different, equally important kind of work. Incubation.
Where the subconscious connects the dots.
Yes. That's when those aha moments often happen. Solving problems you couldn't crack at your desk. Scheduling recharge isn't a luxury. It's a core discipline of a top performer. Prevents burnout. Fosters insight.
Okay, so there they are. Prioritize, explore, research, generate, polish, administrate, and recharge. That's a really powerful framework.
And Kadavy says the first step is just awareness. Before starting any task, ask yourself, what mental state does this require? That simple question is the start of taking conscious control.
Instead of just reacting all day. Okay, so understanding these 7 states is the what of mind management. Now we need the when. This brings us to the next core concept, creative cycles.
Right, it's like Kadavy says, think like a surfer. A surfer doesn't command the waves.
They learn to read them, ride them.
Exactly. A mind manager flows with their biology, doesn't fight it, learns to ride those natural waves of energy through the day, the week, even longer periods.
So let's start with the most fundamental cycle.
The daily energy cycle, governed largely by our circadian rhythm. Now, timings vary a bit, larks, owls, somewhere in between.
We're not all the same.
Definitely not. But most of us experience a predictable wave of alertness. Energy rises after waking, peaks in the late morning, driven by hormones like cortisol.
That's the prime time.
Kadavy calls it your analytical peak. Unequivocally, the best time for sharp focus, deep work. This is when you must schedule your generate state, your most complex problem-solving critical analysis.
Treat it like gold.
Yes, like a non-negotiable meeting with your most important client. Sacred time. Defend it fiercely from interruptions.
So no emails, no admin, no distractions then, no matter how urgent they feel.
Precisely. Then, after that peak, comes the infamous post-lunch slump. Usually between, say, 1 p.m. and 4 p.m.
The energy dip.
Body temp dips, digestion kicks in, sleepiness often hits. Traditional time management fights this, right? More coffee, sugar, willpower.
Push through.
The mind management approach.
Yeah.
Embrace it. This is the perfect time for your administrative block. Your brain doesn't need to be sharpest for routine emails.
Or even better.
Schedule recharge. A 20-minute power nap, a brisk walk outside, some light meditation. It can dramatically improve your clarity for the rest of the afternoon. Lets the brain reset.
And after the slump, is there often another peak or maybe a different kind of productive window?
Often, yes. Many people get a second wind late afternoon. Frequently, this is more of a creative peak. Inhibitions might be lower, you're more open to new ideas, synthesis, making novel connections.
So maybe good for explore or brainstorming.
Exactly. Great for explore, collaborative work where that looser mindset helps.
Yeah.
But the key for all this, Kadavy stresses, is self-experimentation. Become a scientist of your own energy.
How do you do that?
For 1 week, keep a simple log. Every hour, rate your focus, your energy, 1 to 10. You'll quickly see your personal pattern. Are you a classic lark, peaking at 9 a.m., or a night owl, best at 10 p.m.?
Find your rhythm.
Yes. The goal isn't to force yourself into some generic template of productivity. It's to create a personalized structure that honors your unique biological rhythm.
That's fascinating. I know a graphic designer, total night owl, spent years miserably trying the 6 a.m. wake-up thing because, successful people do that.
Oh yeah, that advice is everywhere.
He was tired, unproductive, felt like a failure. Finally, he accepted his rhythm, restructured his day. Noon to 8 p.m. work, mornings for personal stuff. Productivity, happiness, skyrocket.
Perfect example. He aligned with his natural flow. That's exactly what Kadavy champions. And it goes beyond the daily cycle, too.
Right, the weekly cycle.
Yeah. Monday morning often has that fresh start energy. Renewed motivation. Perfect for prioritized work. Setting the week's strategic direction.
Before the week's noise hits.
Exactly. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, usually the best days for deep focus, generate Polish sessions, leveraging that midweek momentum.
Makes sense.
And Friday afternoon, energy naturally lower, weekends calling, attention might wane. Natural fit for administrate tasks. Clear the decks, disconnect fully.
Planning the week around energy, not just tasks. And this extends even further, longer cycles.
Yes, absolutely. Kadavy encourages thinking about larger cycles, seasonal, project-based. A big project has its own life cycle, demanding different states at different times.
Like writing a book.
Perfect example. Long explore research phase at the start, intense heads down generate phase for the first draft, meticulous Polish phase for editing, and crucially,
Recharge afterwards.
yes, a dedicated period of recharge before the next big project. Recognizing and honoring these larger cycles helps manage energy over months, prevents deep burnout, allows for sustainable, fulfilling, creative output.
That's such a powerful metaphor. Stop treating our minds like factories demanding linear output. Start treating them like fertile gardens needing careful cyclical cultivation.
Exactly. Tending the soil, understanding the seasons, not just relentlessly harvesting, respecting the natural seasons of your mind. Rest and varied activity aren't deviations, they're integral.
Okay, we get the 7 states and the when, the creative cycles. Now the how. How do we actually build a practical system to put this into practice day to day, adapting our tools?
Right, let's talk practicalities. Start with your calendar. Kadavy sees it as profoundly underutilized. In mind management, it stops being just a schedule of meetings.
Becomes more strategic.
Yes, a strategic tool for scheduling intentions, explicitly booking time with your desired mental states, instead of a vague block like work on Q3 report.
Be more specific.
Much more, like 9.30, 11:30 a.m., generate mode draft Q3 report intro, or 2.30, 3.30 p.m., research mode, find supporting data for Q3 report. Or Friday, 4.0, 4.3 p.m., Polish mode, final proofread.
That specificity primes your mind for the right kind of thinking. I like the idea of color coding these blocks too.
Oh, it's incredibly helpful, especially for visual thinkers. Highly recommend it. Maybe green for generate, blue for Polish, yellow for research, gray for administrate, orange for recharge.
A visual map of your energy allocation.
Exactly. You see at a glance. If you've scheduled too much generate on a low-energy day or forgotten recharge entirely, which happens all the time.
It's a feedback system.
Yes. Helps you course correct, create balance. Also crucial. Schedule buffer time, 15–30 minutes between blocks. Allows smooth mental transitions, avoids that jarring gear shift.
Good point. Okay, what about the dreaded to-do list, that endless source of anxiety?
Kadavy's very clear about its misuse. In this system, your main to-do list, reserved only for administrative tasks.
Just the small stuff.
Yep, a single manageable list.
Mm-hmm.
Send that email, make that call, submit that form. When your scheduled administrate mode block arrives, open the list, power through it.
Stops them nagging at you all day.
Exactly. Reduces that low-grade anxiety, that constant pull on your attention.
So where do the big ideas, the major project tasks go? The really important things.
Crucial question. Not on that main list. Kadavy suggests 2 other lists, though they're not traditional to-do lists. First, an idea parking lot.
For those random brilliant ideas during deep work.
Precisely. They always pop up. Don't follow the rabbit hole. Quickly jot it in a parking lot that immediately return to your main task. Acknowledge it without breaking focus. Process later during explore or prioritize.
Okay, parking lot, what's the second?
For big projects, use a project management tool, or even just a simple document. Break the project down into its component mental states. This becomes your high-level plan.
Which feeds into the calendar scheduling.
Right. Ensures tasks needing specific states are identified upfront and scheduled right. Prevents the urgent crowding out the important.
It's about having the right container for the right kind of thought. Makes sense. And finally, creating a clean slate environment.
Absolutely critical. Kadavy dedicates real attention here. Your environment, digital and physical, is a powerful trigger for your mental state. A cluttered digital desktop with 50 icons.
Like trying to work in a messy room, constant demands on attention.
Exactly. So before a generous session, a 2-minute ritual. Create a digital sanctuary. Close all unnecessary tabs. Turn off all notifications. Phone in another room, ideally.
Signaling focus time to your brain.
Yes, it's a psychological switch. This simple ritual says, okay, deep focus now.
Like prepping for brain surgery, meticulous, intentional, no distractions.
Precisely. Same for your physical desk. Keep it as clear as possible. Less visual clutter pulling your eye. And inbox zero, another powerful clean slate practice.
Ah, the holy grail for some.
An overflowing inbox is basically a to-do list created by other people's priorities, constantly demanding attention, making you feel reactive.
Creates low-grade anxiety.
Totally. Processing it daily during administrate block, keeping it empty or near empty, reclaims huge mental space. Fosters calm, control, gives you back headspace.
So the environment should be a calm temple for focused thought, not a chaotic marketplace of distractions.
Beautifully put. That's the goal.
Okay, we've got the mechanics, the what, when, how, but to make this stick, Kadavy says we need to harness powerful psychological forces, external and internal ones.
Yes, forces that can work for us or against us. Let's start with an external one we all know. Deadlines. Parkinson's law, right?
Right.
Work expands to fill the time.
Oh yeah, a week to do something. Takes a week, a day. Somehow gets done in a day.
Exactly. Kadavy's insight. Use this deliberately. Set artificial deadlines for yourself.
Turn the pressure into focus.
Precisely. He coached a writer terrified of the blank page. A 1,000-word article took her weeks of agony. The new rule. 500-word terrible first draft in one 45-minute generate session.
Short deadline, low quality bar.
Yes. That combination liberated her. She could consistently produce drafts, then refine them in Polish sessions. The tight time container creates intense focus, forces you past perfectionism, overcomes inertia. Quantity first, then quality.
Creating a container of time creates focus. Perfect summary. What's another external force?
Accountability can be a real game changer for follow-through. And Kadavy stresses, this isn't about a manager monitoring you.
More like a peer.
Yes, a peer-to-peer thing. Share your goals, intentions. He does this himself, starts each day texting his partner his top 1-2 priorities. End of day, another text, accomplished or not.
Simple, no judgment.
No judgment, no long explanations. But this simple act of declaring your intention to someone else makes you exponentially more likely to do it. The commitment, even to a peer, solidifies your internal resolve.
That's low-friction, high-impact discipline. Okay, let's turn inward. Internal forces. Honoring the power of incubation seems counterintuitive to always being on.
It is. And Kadavy argues neglecting incubation is a huge loss in modern productivity. Think of the famous story of chemist Auguste Kekulé and the benzene molecule structure.
The snake eating its tail.
That's the one. He struggled desperately for months, frustrated, getting nowhere. One evening, exhausted, falls asleep by the fire, dreams of a snake seizing its own tail, forming a ring. Ouroboros.
Wakes up with the answer.
Wakes up with the answer. The benzene molecule is a ring. The solution came not when he was forcing it, but when he surrendered to rest, let his subconscious work in the background.
Making those novel connections, it came when he wasn't actively trying.
Exactly. That's why your best ideas often hit in the shower or on a walk, doing something totally unrelated. Your brain keeps processing, connecting, even when you're not consciously focused.
So build in slack.
Yes, Kadavy stresses this. Build slack into your day. Step away from the screen, the problem. Let your mind wander. Allow unconscious connections. The most productive thing when you're truly stuck. Often, stop working for a while.
Trust the background processing. It's not lazy, it's incubation.
Exactly. And finally, a force connecting all this, maybe the most important for self-awareness, listening to your intuition.
Tuning into yourself.
Yes. Kadavy says your body keeps the score. It's constantly giving feedback. That persistent headache, tight chest, profound lack of motivation despite pushing.
Not just random inconveniences.
No, they're data points. Signals your system isn't working for you. Maybe too much generate, not enough recharge. Mind management isn't rigid, followed blindly.
It's adaptive.
It's an adaptive practice of self-awareness, checking in. What does my mind truly need right now? Then having the courage, the self-compassion, to give it that, even if it means deviating from the plan.
Your intuition is your most advanced diagnostic tool for mental energy.
Absolutely. Trust it. Hashtag outro.
So here we are. We've traveled quite a journey, haven't we? From those noisy factory floors, the ticking clocks,
To the quiet, infinite landscape of the creative mind.
understanding its rhythms, its needs. We've challenged that outdated time management dogma, embraced a more humane, effective, sustainable way, mind management.
Yeah, to quickly recap, we saw the ticking clock as often a distraction from the real resource, our fluctuating mental energy.
For knowledge workers like Samir, definitely.
We dove into the 7 mental states. Prioritize, explore, research, generate, polish, administrate, and the crucial recharge. Mastery is matching mindset to task at the right time.
And we discovered our own natural creative cycles, daily, weekly, longer term, learning to surf those energy waves instead of being crushed by them.
Repurposing our tools, too. Calendars become strategic energy maps. To-do lists become manageable containers, not sources of dread.
And finally, harnessing those psychological forces, deadlines for focus, accountability for commitment, incubation for insight, and intuition as our ultimate guide.
The core message of mind management, not time management. It's ultimately one of liberation, isn't it?
Absolutely. Freeing yourself from the guilt, the anxiety, the productivity rat race treadmill.
It's about giving yourself permission to work in a way that's deeply aligned with your own human nature, your biology, your unique creative flow.
Understanding that the path to world-class output isn't just relentless hustle. It's paved with intentional rest, smart choices, self-awareness. So, to help you start this shift today, here's a practical checklist. Your first steps on this new path, inspired by Kadavy's wisdom.
Let's hear them.
First, for just 1 week, be your own energy scientist. Track your focus hourly, 1 to 10. Discover your personal golden hours. Self-awareness is the bedrock.
Know thyself.
Second, look at tomorrow's calendar. Find your peak creative window. Block it out. Generate mode. Defend that time like it's your most important meeting, because it is.
Non-negotiable.
Third, relabel and color code at least 2 other blocks with mental states. Maybe a gray administrate mode for your energy slump. Consciously match task to energy.
Make it visual.
Fourth, intentionally schedule recharge. Put a 20-minute walk or meditation on your calendar. A non-negotiable appointment with your subconscious. Treat it seriously.
Vital.
Fifth, before finishing work today, do a clean slate ritual. Close unnecessary tabs, clear your digital desktop, tidy your physical desk. Give your future self the gift of a calm, focused start tomorrow. Signal readiness.
Simple but powerful. And remember, this isn't a system to master overnight. It's a practice.
A continuous process.
Of observation, adjustment. A new way of relating to your work and really to yourself. It starts with awareness, grows with intention, self-compassion.
And by taking these steps, you start shifting. From reactive and overwhelmed to intentional and in control. You'll likely work fewer raw hours, but accomplish more of what truly matters.
More of your most valuable contributions.
You'll stop living by the clock, start living in flow, in harmony with your natural creative rhythms.
Remember, the power to transform your work, your life. It doesn't lie in a new app or a better schedule. It lies within your own mind. It's time to learn its language.
And unlock your true potential.